Why do men feel guilty about being men? Why are some men afraid of being men? And why are they afraid of women? And also, what's up with the rise of the males who hate men? I'm seeing more and more guys in my feed who hate men. Thank you for joining me. My name is John Paul from bravefathers.com. And today I want to talk about a very important issue about men who hate men. And it was an incident earlier on today on X that made me think of this topic today. I've already spoken a little bit about it, but it's something that I'm really noticing more. So I don't know if it's an algorithmic change that is bringing that to my attention or whether it's a new trend. Because I know for a while we've had that. I didn't realize how widespread it is and how deep it is. So I'm going to address some issues today and we'll talk about it. I went to court today and I think I left my pen, my favorite pen. And I'm really hoping that it is not my favorite pen that I left, because the one that I really like to write with, I like this one too, but my favorite pen, it takes a couple of weeks to get it because there's only one store that I found online that gets it all the way from China. So when it runs out of stock, it's out of stock, and lots of people like it. It's a really good fountain pen, and very easy to write with, very smooth. I don't remember the brand name, so unfortunately I cannot plug it in here. But if you see me annoyed, it's because I left my pen and I think I left it in court. I could be wrong. Hopefully I'll find it somewhere around the house. I do lose things every now and then, and pens are things that get missing. But let's get back on topic. So today I was followed by this weird person. I don't like using that word a lot. You know, I'm trying to abstain from attacking people personally or calling people names. um, I just found it strange the way this person approached the whole situation. So simply put, this guy, he just followed me, liked a couple of posts. He liked the post that I made about Mr. Paul Elam and Rollo Tomasi, Mr. Rollo Tomasi. I believe Rollo Tomasi is a pseudonym. I don't know if Mr. Paul Elam goes by his real name. So I made a post about them. He liked that and some other posts, whatever, right? And then he followed me. And then I made a comment, which is a topic that I care about. And the topic is the comment was about how males discard their masculinity early in childhood. And we've had it so much now that we have people like Clavicular, most of the red pill at this stage, and the pickup artists as well, discard their masculinity and instead substitute it with gimmicks and external things like money, looks, and status. Nothing wrong with money, looks, and status, of course. But if you do things for the sake of women, then you're going to have problems, which these groups have, but we'll come back to that later. I made a comment basically saying that males discard their personality, their masculine traits. So every trait that you have has to be developed, right? And there are traits that a female may not like about you, but is a masculine trait. For example, you may be selfish about your time. Now, women may complain about it. That doesn't mean it's wrong to be selfish about your time, right? But we live in a perception where everybody thinks if a female doesn't like something, it must be changed. Like that's where we've got into in the general social media landscape and parts of the real world as well. So I made a comment essentially that males adhere to that. So by the time they grow up, they don't develop boundaries, because being selfish about your time is an example of a boundary. So they don't have boundaries like that, right? So I'll explain all that after, but I didn't go into detail with that post. So this person, this male, right, liked the post. So he said something to the effect of, what did he say? Do I have it here? Hold on a second. So basically, he liked the post and he commented on it like, yeah, 100% spot on. He agrees with it, blah, 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 blah. he was going on about how in his childhood he had a wound or some nonsense. It was I found the post strange as well, the way he expressed himself, because it sounded so watered down as a human being. Maybe he used ChatGPT or something to write it, but it didn't feel genuine, right? I didn't respond because obviously I had other things to do. And then he made that post that I just showed in response to it. So he said, disclaimer, right? I disagree much of what that account posts. So he didn't even say me. Like, see how fucking what's the word? Weaselly this person is. You can't even name the person. Like, you can see the hatred and the violence because you're dehumanizing the person. You're not even saying that person said or that man said that account, right? They are removing themselves from the comment and it's saying it still has I hate woman vibe overall by doing this comment, to his fucking credit, right? He still stood by endorsing the comment because of his weak response to it. I consider it weak because there was nothing of substance. When you tell me, yeah, I agree, it's not fucking LinkedIn, right? You don't have to agree with everything. It's X. You make your point, and you're looking for counterpoints. You're looking to learn from different points of view. So I was confused about what the fuck he's talking about. Like, is he talking about me or what? So I said, where is your hate of women presumption coming from, right? So I asked, where's your hatred of women presumption coming from? Why are you saying that I hate women or my account hates women when I know I do not hate women, right? I know that I'm not affiliated with anything. I'm a man. I stand for me alone. If I stand for anything, it's brave fathers, which is what I started, right? Fathers who are brave enough to fight for their children, and fathers who are fathers, period. Every father who does his best is a father. Yes, I'm critical, I'm harsh in my speech, but I respect fatherhood, I respect male authority, which is what keeps the world together. So when this fucking fool, and again, I'm realizing that I'm calling him a name, which I apologize at the same time because I don't want this to become a thing where I'm trading insults with somebody, because that lowers the quality of conversation. But that's how I feel about this male. I said, look, why does it say that I hate women, right? And the reason why, by the way, the reason why I'm using such language is once you cross a line of making an accusation and throwing things at me, knowing very well that in today's social media climate, a label removes any chance of a lot of people even trying to hear what you say. They ignore anything of what you want to say. They just look at the label. So when you throw a label at me, that's not violence, but that's like, you're trying to say it's on, right? And I've said it in my previous videos. I want the smoke. Bring it. If you can bring an intellectual argument that is sound in logic, bring it, and we'll fight it out. So you're saying I hate women. Okay, where does it say I hate women? So here's what he says. He says, from a quick look at your posts, saying women can be liars in divorce cases, etc., signals some level of hate or at least disbelief of women in general. Right? Let me pause there. So let me rewind. He says, me saying that women can be liars in court cases or divorce cases means I hate women. Like, let's stop there for a moment. Let's pause there. Right? Now, you see how low males have come in our society, right? The problem we have as men, where already we have an issue where we are demeaned and devalued by a lot of the society on social media, by all the mainstream media, right? We are made to look like we are somehow less, right? And so and I can understand now, which I didn't before, why when there's a critique, people cannot understand it, because we still need critique. That's how men grow. But many of these males didn't grow up with fathers, grandfathers, uncles, or men who had any kind of spine, any kind of authority and integrity. So because of that, every criticism breaks them, right? That's why you have people like Clavicula taking drugs, overdosing on drugs live on stream, because they cannot handle like basic criticisms. Like, if you remember those times, if you lived in those times where people would make fun of each other. Yeah, sometimes to end up in a fight, but it was all cool. It was part of the day. There was no really like a malicious intent behind it. It was just how we did things. And your boys will always make fun of you, and you make fun of your boys. It's a thing. That's what we do, right? But these guys don't have that. And I think they are jealous of men. I believe, I know they are jealous of men. They are not part of that. They cannot handle that. So they flock to women, thinking that the female validation will somehow compensate for their lack of masculinity that they've discarded. So him saying that, what? I said women can be liars. I don't know what exactly he says, but yes, women do lie in court. Like, women are human beings. Human beings lie, right? I'm not into this gender war thing. Yes, I point out women. Why? Because I help fathers. I help fathers who have children with women. So of course, when they are going to court, some of these mothers lie, and those mothers are women. We've seen Amber Heard, we've seen Cassie in the Sean P. Diddy Combs trial lie. We've seen women lie all the time. What's her name? Caroline Flack and other domestic abusers who are female lie. We've seen it. We've had women killers. Like, it's not even a far-fetched thought. Women lie. They lie. How does me saying that women lie mean I hate women? And then he goes on to say, it signals what? Hatred of women, and or at least disbelief of women in general. Disbelief of women in general. So, like, are we still doing the believe all women nonsense? So why can't we believe Ghislaine or whatever the fuck her name is, Maxwell? Why can't we believe Mrs. Maxwell, Miss Maxwell, whatever her name is? Why don't we believe her? Do we believe Amber Heard's? Like, what are we doing? But you see, this is clearly disingenuous, because he goes on to say, just my opinion, not going to argue with you. Why don't you argue with me? You see, that's why I get angry. If you're a man and you say, like, I've made a claim, women lie, and somebody can come in, or you can jump in the comments. By the way, feel free to disagree, put it in your comments below, right? And if you'll be so kind to like and subscribe, that's cool, or follow me. If not, it's cool, right? We keep it moving. We still do what we do, right? If you disagree, tell me, no, women don't lie. Cool. Let's have a discussion. Let's have an argument like men do. Let's have an argument like two men who disagree, not agree to disagree. We disagree. We think the other person is wrong. I think you are wrong. You think I'm wrong. All right. Bring your evidence. I bring mine. Because a man must have confidence in what he's saying. So the reason why I called him a fucking fool, which again, it's not right for me to do. So I'm doing the wrong thing, because I don't think he's not here to defend himself, because he blocked me, right? He blocked me because he then started going off topic about how men are worse, blah, 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 which is irrelevant to the fact that women lie. And he says men can lie, whatever. I said, okay, men can lie. You're comfortable saying that, right? You're comfortable saying that. So can you now acknowledge that women can lie also? Right? Because men can lie. Yes, men lie. I never said that men don't lie. Men do lie. People lie, right? So now he said he's not going to engage any further. But he still endorses my previous comment. Fucking bullshit. And then I said, look, you can't come here, make an accusation, put a label on somebody saying that I hate women, right? You can't do that. And I said, unfollow me. And this guy is like, oh, he never followed me. But I just have the screenshot of the person following me, which made me realize like, oh, what's going this? I just felt a weird vibe about that whole post, which made me look up, when I look at the notification. So he clearly followed me and can't even accept that he followed me. And it's because he made that disclaimer that I showed you earlier. Disclaimer: I disagree with much of what that account posts. I still see it. It still has, and I hate women vibe overall, but I endorse this comment. And that's where the whole thing started, where I asked of why the presumption. And you see, I'm seeing this trend of like, why the fuck are you making a disclaimer first and foremost? You made a statement, but I know why. Because like every weak male, he thinks in a collective manner all the time. He doesn't stand on what he stands. He stands on what the group stands. So he's afraid that the other weak people who follow him, right, because they can't stand on their own, they can't make up their own minds, the whole group thing, what do they call that? The hive mindset or whatever the fuck it is, right? He cannot accept that, oh, they may think that I agree with this guy who hates women. Like, if I hate women, so the fuck what? Why can't I hate women? Why do I have to love women? Why? Let's say I hate women, then what? Surely I can see that it's okay to hate men. So why can't women also be hated? You understand? And I know all the bullshit that comes with it, but that's what I'm trying to address here. And we need to start addressing as men. We need to pull ourselves from the gender war, because the gender war is bullshit, right? Because we like women. That doesn't mean we like all women. We love women, and that doesn't mean we love all women. And when we hate a woman, that doesn't mean we hate all women. On the individual basis, hatred is part of human emotions. We feel it. You resolve it. That does not mean act on it, but you have every right to feel every negative emotion you feel against a female, especially if she has done you wrong, especially if she has abused you, right? And I know today we are not allowed to say it, so I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna have to be saying this shit. Because men are forgetting that they are people too. Now, don't mistake this to say, like, I don't have issues with the way we move. But my issues are really with that men are discarding their power. It's not about being an alpha male or sigma male or any fucking alphabet male, right? All these fucking alphabets. Like, what are we doing? It's not about any definition other than who you are. And the whole premise that I'm coming up with now, because I'm realizing that that's the core issue, is that at a very early age, boys are taught it's wrong to be male, it's bad to be male. So then people either become hyper aggressive to compensate for the underdeveloped masculinity in themselves, right? Because being aggressive does not make you a man. Yes, men are aggressive, but aggression is not the definition of the man. Yes, men are selfish. We are supposed to be selfish we are supposed to be selfish, period. Being selfish does not mean people don't benefit from you or that you take this at people's expense. It means you are about yourself. You put yourself first. Of course you put yourself first. Nobody has a problem telling a woman to put herself first. Why do we have a problem telling a man to put himself first? Yeah, I'll put myself first. If I don't put myself first, not that that is the reason, but there is a logical follow-up to that. Again, not that that's the reason, but if I don't put myself first, then how do the people who depend on me benefit? If I don't gain, if I don't give to myself, if I don't take from life what I want, how can I give people what they want? How can I provide for those who depend on me? I'm not here to protect all women. I'm just not. Of course, if there is a conflict where that's necessary, where men have to band together to defeat an enemy, that's a different scenario. But I'm also doing it for myself and those I love, not just because women. I don't give a fuck about women like that. And I don't give a fuck about men like that. I care about manhood, about fatherhood. If there's anything I care about really, above all is the children. Because I remember when, as a child, my being was not a priority. It was the adults fighting that was the priority. So going through family courts showed me how that is. But look, I'm not here like women's rights, all that shit. I don't care. Okay? I don't care. I'm not against it. I'm not for it. I don't care about it. It's not important to me. It's not. Taking a shit is more important to me because that's for my health. I care about myself more than I care about anything else. That does not mean you see, and if, oh, you don't love your children, you don't love your wife, you don't have the, no, I do. The more I love myself, if I love myself on at its 10 infinities, how much love does that, like, how much love do people really need from me? But you see, we have this mindset where I have to justify this, I have to explain my feelings. Why? Why can't I just want to be myself? Why does everything I do have to benefit another person that is not related to me? And why does it have to benefit some female somewhere? Why can't it just not just benefit me? Why are we teaching ourselves this? And this is what we are taught from childhood. Like, I'm gonna tell a story. Yeah, you know when they say who hurt you, I'll tell you who hurt me. When I was 4 years old, I think, I had this bicycle that I really liked, and for some reason some little girl wanted it. And my parents decided, if I remember the story correctly, that I should give it to her. Why? So now you have your fucking theory of how I became the villain. They took my bicycle from me. It was probably like a tricycle or something. Shit. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? If these females are strong and independent, why do we need to take care of them? Like, see this fucking post, real men take care of women. Why do we take care of women? Why? What's the reason for that? Pussy? Like, yo, listen. We live in a time where a man cannot even speak his fucking mind. Like, I'm trying to speak my mind here, and I'm realizing as I'm speaking to you that every word I say is somebody somewhere is like, misogyny, misogyny, misogyny. When I don't even care about women like that. Like I said, I don't give a fuck. I don't love them. I don't hate them. There are women I love. I'm sexually attracted to women. And how I deal with my personal relationships is between me and the adult female who chooses to have a relationship with me. That's between us. Why is everything up for scrutiny now that a man does? And then you have males like this coming in telling me, because I said women can be liars. So it's simple. I asked him a question. I said, so are you implying women cannot be liars? And then he has to bring it off topic and say how men are worse. Okay. So you have said men are bad, men are liars. So now tell me, can women be liars in divorce cases? Right? Because you've said it about men, we've accepted. Yes, men can be liars in divorce cases. Right? If you disagree, please put a comment. But I'm sure none of us reasonable, brave fathers will disagree with the fact that men can also be liars, right? We are not arguing that fact. So now, when a question was put to this individual, he cannot respond with a yes. He cannot even respond with a no. He blocks me. And you see, it's not about the block, it's not about him doing that to me. That's irrelevant, right? Because I was going to ask you to block me because I don't block people like that. I think one person threatened my life or something like that, so I'll block you for that. If you insult me or disrespect me, I will not block you. I don't care. Like, to me, it's childish. Like, all this, I block you, I disagree with you, I block you. Like, what the fuck? Like, what are we doing? Why do we need everybody to like us? You don't need to like me. I don't need to like you. when we work together, when we have things to do, I respect you, you respect me, and we keep it moving, right? So the problem is these people are increasing. There's so many guys who are speaking up for women. They're speaking up for women. That is what they think they are doing. And they are ready to attack any male, any man who is not in compliance with speaking up for women. Which women, I don't know. I don't know who this mythical women we are speaking up for are. Because the last time I checked, women are also individuals. They're also humans. They're also adults. They are people. They are not more important than men, and men are not more important than women. We are equals, right? We are different, but we are supposed to be equal. We are supposed to be equal. So how did we get to a stage where we have to put women on a pedestal as a matter of almost law? Because I'm fully aware that some people would now want to make this a crime, to speak anything wrong about women, to dislike women. They want women to have a special place where, and then men are the second-class citizens, where we are the workhorses, where we provide, we protect, we sacrifice ourselves. And some men think that that's the definition of masculinity. No, it's not. And then that's how they think we are supposed to be. And I'm seeing more and more. Listen, if a guy does something wrong to a woman, right? It's not my fault. It's not your fault. I'm only responsible for my own actions. So whatever a guy does that is uncomfortable to a woman is none of my fucking problems. I don't see where this collective responsibility is supposed to come from. On what grounds? On what grounds? Because we don't have the collective respect for the good things men do. Right? No, but no, like I'm not here to create a safe environment for women. I'm here to create a safe environment for myself, for me. That's how selfish I am. I'm so selfish that I'm here to do this for me. And because I have love, because men love, those who I love benefit from it. So when I bring you the prophecy and the truth of masculinity, of manhood, it's because I love you. But I'm doing it also for selfish reasons, because I love myself even more. Yes, I love myself more than I love you. But I still love you though. How much love do you need from me? So when we have these males attacking other men, thinking they are doing good things, we are just breaking down society, because we have at least one generation of males now who have never seen a strong masculine figure in their lifetime. And the closest they've seen is James Bond or Captain America or Spider-Man in his spandex. What do they call those things? What do they call those things that you wear? Tights. Men in tights. Those are our heroes. Men in tights. Those are the strongest males and masculine figures we have. But as I made in my comment, you can't emulate James Bond, because James Bond is himself. You can't emulate me. You can't emulate the next man, because you are not him. You are you. You are you. You are the definition of a man. You. When I say you, I don't mean the persona. I don't mean the going on red pill and saying a man does this and that, or a man puts a woman on an emotional roller coaster, or pick up artists with their high value status, whatever the fuck is called. That's not you. That is a persona. That's fake. But you, as yourself, the one that some people like, some people don't like, the one that some people love and others hate, the one that you must learn to love as you are. Because as you see this skull over here, one day, that's all that will remain of you. as we are told. Maybe it's not true, you know? Maybe the spaceship is coming. We don't know. Maybe the spaceship is coming to get us. But while we're here, you are your own definition of a man, right? So when we have all these guys trying to demean the value of masculinity, trying to paint every man as evil if he doesn't comply with their agenda, if he doesn't want to swallow the red, not the red pill, the rainbow pill. You know, when you see people like Clavicula, right, who is a very misguided man, thinking, look, pause, he looks good, pause, right? But that does not mean that all women will like him, because a lot of women will see him as gay because of how sweet his look is. So they would think he's a homosexual, so they will not be interested in him. Other women would think, he looks too sweet, right? Pause. So they will not be interested in him. For some, he's just not their type, and so on and so forth. And he himself says on stream, I can't get girls. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, he declared now that he's going to be simping, which I understand why he's doing it, because he has a business to run. So he's like, hey, fuck it. If I can't help anybody, I must as well help myself. And when I say him, Clavicula, he's an archetype, right? Because there's guys who think they can do what females do, put on some makeup, which I've heard him say, and look nice, pretty, be good looking, and that's what women will want. And we are, because most people have never seen a true player for real, never in their life. They don't know what it's like. They've never experienced with their own eyes or with their own person women wanting them for themselves. So a lot of the red pill gurus are not themselves. That's why they always band together, because they're not themselves. They rely on the external things to attract women's attention. And then when a woman actually likes them, because every guy, there's a woman who likes you out there. If you put yourself out, there's always a woman who wants you, because that's nature. It's not true that, you know, some people are not supposed to procreate. Like, it's your mindset that puts you there. Now, I know people argue with me otherwise. I don't even care about that much. If you don't think you're not fit to procreate, that's not my problem. I'm here to deal with fathers. So obviously, if you're a father, you have procreated, right? So in essence, they look to money. You can bait women with money, but they've never had a girl that they were sleeping with, and there was a rich guy courting her, dating her, taking her out, giving her money, and she brings some of that money to you as a gift because it's late at night and you've allowed her to come over. She doesn't want to come empty-handed. She wants to come with something. They've never seen that. And then they see a stage video of Clavicula taking a guy's girlfriend away. And it's funny. It's hilarious. Because anybody who goes out to approach women, who has gone out and you know, been proactive about attracting women, knows that it's staged. You can see it right away. And even when they see, like, first of all, he's not taking the girlfriends away, because most of those girls are not the girlfriends of those guys. They're not invested in those guys. Those guys are just trying to keep those women, and the women are keeping them around based on the scenario that we're seeing. But we see the videos of the girls after the club not wanting to hang out with him. Like, there's one I saw, the girl was like, yeah, just drop me out here. I don't know whether they dropped her in the middle of the street or wherever they left her. She was like, nah, this is weird, right? And nothing against him, but the point is, not every woman is gonna like you. And when you have cameras around you and lights, of course, a lot of females will be attracted to that. But a woman being attracted to what you have, it's not the same thing as a woman being attracted to you. And I hear people argue with me, and straight away I know they are inexperienced. When I say they're inexperienced, they've never had a woman who just wants them. You know, people say, oh, there's a trend of women paying rent. Like, women have been paying rent for men from beginning of rent paying. And you have younger women paying for older men, and you have older women paying for younger men. It's not a matter of age. Like when people put all this criteria, like it's nonsense. Oh, it's easier when they are older. No, it's not. No, it's not. You think it's easier now. Perhaps you feel more confident approaching them, so it's easier for you, or you think it's easier, but it's not. But the point here is, all those things are said from the premise of women don't want you for you, and that's red pill. A woman will never love you for you. That's bullshit. A woman cannot love you more than you love yourself. So if you don't love yourself enough, yeah, that's true. She will only want you for your things. If you're always flashing things about, then yeah, that's what she's gonna go for. What do you think? What are you thinking? They see Chris Brown with women following him. They're not thinking half of those bitches want to take advantage of him. Right? Not just with the sex, but with the clout. They are just like, oh, if I fuck him, I'm gonna get followers. If I manage to get a picture or sneak in a video, I can use that on my whatever website that I use to make money or just to get followers. Or I can make up a lie about him, like the original fucking guy in the beginning of this video was claiming that women don't lie when they do. I think Jason Derulo had a case recently as well with something like that, and it came out that she was lying. Right? So here's what it boils down to. Here's what it boils down to. Men must start valuing themselves. Men must really start valuing themselves. We have to start valuing ourselves. We have to cast out males who hate men from our midst. It's like when you watch 300, when they said that guy couldn't carry the shield, which is sad for him. But that's what these guys are emotionally, because they didn't develop. And all of us have that problem to one degree or the other because of where the time we've grown up in. It is a thing. So we must address it because fortunately it can be resolved. So we all have that emotional deficiency when it comes to masculinity, because we are taught to discard traits that are seen as negative, and also to take on traits or emphasize traits that make us look weaker or be perceived as weaker and more effeminate. So that fucks with your mind. Like, why do you think all these motherfuckers are ending it? Why are they ending it? Because they are humiliated. They feel like there's nothing left. They are nothing. They believe the stories. Look, and I've been at that point too. Like, I've been through it all. Like, when people think, listen, people think sometimes when I speak that like I've not lived it. I've lived through all this. I've been there, and I have the scars to show it. I've been through all that shit. Everything that people are scared of or could happen to you. So when you come out on the other side, you realize that, okay, I'm not scared of it anymore. That's one. And two, you realize, okay, what if I didn't go down this path? Who would I be? Who am I? Who the fuck am I? And yes, at some point, I did think that I was supposed to sacrifice myself, that was my value. And I thought that the things that were going wrong were because I was not sacrificing myself, also known as the nice guy syndrome, right? So I've been through that too. I was just lucky that I had good mentors. And even those mentors, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't believe them half the time because I thought they could do it, but I couldn't. But when people say, Rollo Tomasi was saying, oh, you have to be at least surfer fitness, like, what are you talking about? When I used to work in the club at the bar, remember there was this short guy that used to come in, and he always had a beautiful girl next to him, and she was always so jealous of him. And he didn't give a fuck Like he was so confident. He was walking up to women. You could see how they're charmed by him. I never even knew that height was an issue. Like things like height were an issue until I think after the COVID thing. A lot of the things that people talk about now were never an issue. Guys were never really like bothered about them. Yeah, we knew guys like tall guys and that, but it was never a thing. Like I mentioned of one of my colleagues he's like, I think he's under 5 feet, if not around 5 feet. He's quite short. He wasn't embarrassed about it or anything. Like that's his height, right? Like we didn't think that way. It was like that's your height. And he had women like I remember those. I was doing some let's just call it simping. Let's call a spade a spade. I was doing some simping back in the day, and he was like, "Yo, why are you doing this?" Like he was like he checked me, and that's how we used to do. Like your friend is doing something that is to his detriment, you check him. I want men to get benefits from life. Let's start getting the woman we want, right? Let's not look at the ones who hate men because they exist, right? I'm not pretending they don't exist. There are many of them, especially these days. They are just like men have not seen attractive male models. When I say attractive, I'm not talking of looks. I'm talking of character and personality. Women have not seen that either. Many have also grown up without fathers. There are families now where it's just females all around, and they rarely have access to males within their domain. Rarely. Rarely. Whew. So we have to start really building ourselves up, not to serve society. Serving society is important, right? That is what adults do. You contribute to society because we all benefit from the society. I don't think any man in today's age really needs to be taught to contribute to society or to consider society. We hear it all the time. There's no shortage of that information. But where we are short of information is someone telling you that, listen, haven't you bought your PS5 yet? Like, I don't play PlayStation, right? I might get one when the next model comes out. But I know a lot of guys like their PlayStations, and many of them not bought it because of their girlfriends. Like I was reading a post, and I've heard of this before, where a guy is like, "Oh, I haven't gotten a motorcycle because my girlfriend doesn't like it, or my wife doesn't like it." I'm saying, get that fucking motorcycle. Get it. Memento mori. Remember, that scythe is coming for you one day. Unless the spaceship comes first, the prophecy. But you are here now. So you have to buy that motorcycle if that's what you want for yourself. That trip you wanted to take, do it. Like you want to make sculptures, do that. Whatever it is, play guitar, rock that show, whatever it is that you want to do it for yourself. Not because a female benefits from it, which if she loves you, she will benefit. And if she's right for you, you're compatible, she will. But that's secondary. You have to start saying, I'm the most important person in my life. The most important person I know. Because you are the most important person you know. You can't control any other person apart from yourself. You cannot make anybody else act apart from you. So you have to start telling yourself this and believing it and knowing it. And it's not easy if you are raised to think your value comes from the sacrifice to others or your contribution to others. Yes, in certain regard, your contribution is what gives you value. If you're employed or in business, your value in that context, not as a man, as a human being, comes from their contribution. If it's a transaction, people want an equivalent in return, right? So, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about your personal life, your happiness. All this depression will go away for most of us, apart from when it's like clinical and chemical, whatever. But if we start treating ourselves like we are worthy of the good treatment, you know, when I see all these posts complain, oh, they're saying this on TikTok, women are saying this and that. Like, we can't concentrate all our energy on that. We can't focus all our energy on TikToks that disparage men. What is the benefit from that? Nothing. Nothing. Use that time to work on the project that matters to you. Because you bitching about it is not going to change it. Right? If we keep complaining, it's not going to change anything. And the males that are traitors, we just let them go. Let them go deal with the females. That's what they want anyway. So let them go be with the females. Let them pay the price of their betrayal. We don't need to punish them. The woman will punish them. Because what those guys don't realize is that females don't respect such males. Yes, they'll pat you on the head, they'll give you a snack. On rare occasions, they may throw some pussy at you or let you have a whiff of the vagina, right? If they think you're straying too far and you're not being a good dog. But they will never respect you if you act that way. So we don't need to deal with those guys. Let's bring back the times when men respected each other, and if you didn't live by the rules and the codes of your group, then you couldn't be in that group. And let's bring back the times where people think you're a jerk. I'm not saying go out and be an asshole to people on purpose, but let them think that. I'm not saying be that. I'm saying let them think that if they want to. Let's bring back the times where if you choose to be a gentleman, you limit it to you being a gentleman. So it doesn't mean you're going to be wet in the rain or late for your child's recital because a female can't change her tire. Right? Let's not do that. Let her be in the rain and I'll rush to get my kid. Let her be in the rain and I'll go and pick up my wife from work. Let her be in the rain and I'm going to eat that delicious croissant that I want to eat and have a cappuccino with it. Pause. I like my cappuccino. If you think it's gay, I still like it. I like my cappuccino. Let her be in the rain with a fucking tire and I'm going to play Fortnite. Let her be in the rain and I'm going to scroll. I don't need to help her. I do not need to help her if I do not want to help her. Just like when I'm hungry and I want a sandwich, she's not going to rush to the kitchen to make me one. And that's fine. You see, when people watch movies and people say, oh, men were gentlemen, the chivalry, whatever, that's not what it necessarily was. There was a community. Everybody knew there was a role to play. So if there was a barbecue, the woman knew what to do, the men knew what to do, right? If anything that happened, people had a different relationship with each other. It wasn't perfect like we see it in movies anyway, right? But I remember as kids playing outside, let's say if a parent shouted on us or told us to stop something, we would do it. All of us would do it because it was on code. Like we knew that you get in trouble if your parents find out. It doesn't matter who reports it. It was a community thing. So it wasn't a matter of a sacrifice of being a martyr. That's not what it was. And I'm not saying there isn't a place and time for that. There is. There are people sacrificing their lives for us right now, mostly men, but women too. So I'm not disrespecting that sacrifice, but what I'm saying, it is, that's not what your life is about. And also, for you to be able to make a sacrifice, you have to be worth something, at least to yourself. The sacrifice does not give you value. You give value to the sacrifice. Let me say that again. Your sacrifice does not give you value. You give value to the sacrifice. It's called a sacrifice because it's worth something. But you cannot make your life about it. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. If nukes are going to start flying, we're going to a apocalyptic world, excuse me. If we go into a post-apocalyptic world, or the zombies are coming, or the spaceship is coming to get some of us, wink, wink, right? We don't know, but what we know is today. And we have to start bringing that back. And because men have not had a chance to develop themselves, which honestly is the root of most modern relationship problems. Because women cannot feel an attraction to a man who is underdeveloped emotionally. Because primarily what women are attracted to is our behavior, our confidence, how we carry ourselves, how we view ourselves, how we value ourselves. That's the primary attractor. And no, you are not going to get every woman to want you. That's another neediness. Just like you don't want every female on the planet. You don't. Right? And some guys think they do, it's because they don't have any. It's like when you're hungry and you say, oh, I could eat 5 pizzas today. And I know if you can't eat 5 pizzas, then that's you. But most of us cannot eat 5 pizzas. Right? So the same thing with women. Oh, I want 10 women. No, you don't. No, you don't. Like, I don't know. You can have girls to access here and there, but like personally, 3 women at a time is the max my brain can comprehend. 3, and even then, one gets more attention than the others. Right? I cannot do 10 women. Like, why would I do that to myself? Right? What's special about all these females that I need 10 of them to manage my time, plan things with them? Why? Why? Like, I'm not saying it's wrong if that's what you want to do, but most guys can't. Most guys can handle their wife. How are they going to handle 10 women? So all these things, we have to start getting realistic. And when I say realistic, I'm not saying it's impossible. If you are the kind of guy who wants that kind of lifestyle, then you have to be about it. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you have to really be about that. Because there's always a sacrifice still. If you are, let's say, Elon Musk, and you want to make all this money, well, that means you may not be able to hang out with the boys on Sunday every week, right? That means you may have to get up at a time you don't want to wake up, and so forth. And you see, the males who hate men, who are afraid of women, they don't get it. They don't get it. So we can't have them amongst us, right? So just as a reminder, if you just joined us, thank you. Welcome to the Brave Father Show. What inspired today was when this person decided to say that I hate women because I said women can be liars in divorce, and because I disbelieve women, right? And I do disbelieve women a lot of times. I do. Why shouldn't I? Why should I trust a strange female that is not my friend, it's not my family member, it's not my mistress, she's my nothing? Why should I believe her? Why should I take her word for it? Why? If Johnny Depp thought about this, he wouldn't be in that situation with Amber Heard, would he? If Caroline Flack's boyfriend understood this, he wouldn't have gotten hit in the head in his sleep. If Will Smith understood this, he wouldn't have slapped Chris Rock and destroyed the whole respect that he had, his whole credibility, that he still cannot accept that he was wrong. And I think now she dumped him or something. Right? So this shows you that looks, money, and status are not the answer. Those things are not the answer. And I know, because a lot of guys don't have experience, it's easy to fool them. Like I was mentioning Clavicular, people think that's a player. He's not a player. Nowhere, no player will even keep him around because those guys slow you down. He's not even like a beginning player, which to his credit, he has accepted himself, but his followers make up a fantasy in their head that he's this super guy who can take anybody's girlfriend. There's no human being on earth who can do that, right? We don't have to believe what we see in the movies. But so this guy who was throwing at me that I hate women because of what I'm saying, because I say men, because what, I don't believe women. Yeah, I don't believe women in court. I was in court today, and I can speak about that because that was a public hearing. And the woman was being cross-examined by a woman. And at the end of the day, the woman said to the witness, like, did you make all this stuff up? Right? Women lie. Like, I don't know why it's become such a weird fucking thought that when I say this, that means I hate women. They lie. They bleed once a month and they lie. Like, what's new? And they want to force us into a time where we worship women instead of worshiping ourselves. Yes, it's good to worship yourself every now and then. Why not? You are a perfect creation. God made you. Why is it okay to go and admire the Grand Canyon, but it's not right to admire yourself? Why should we always find fault with ourselves as men? Why is it okay to praise women for being themselves and being brave? Like you have brave fathers. It really pisses people off, the name brave fathers. But let me finish this thought. Why do we have praise women for being brave? Right? For making their choices. Why don't we not praise men? And listen, we don't need society to praise us. We don't need it. We don't need a society to acknowledge us and like us. But we need to like ourselves. We need to love ourselves. That's what we need to do. You see, that's what people are missing. So when I see all these channels, oh, women said this, so the fuck what? Who cares what they said? Listen, I said it yesterday, I'm saying it today. If we stop paying attention, they will stop. When men give it attention, that's what validates it. That's why I don't usually repost those things. If ever, it will be rare and it will be an extreme case, and there's probably like another layer to it that I'm making a point. But I don't care what some bitch said on TikTok about men. She has the right to say that, like I'm saying my stuff. I'm not being nice about it. And so she doesn't have to be nice about me if she thinks something not nice about me. Oh, I thought the spirit entered this thing. Like that was a sign, you know what I'm saying? But she doesn't have to be nice. And I don't have to be nice. That's what's called being a grown up, being an adult. What was it that we used to say? Stick and stones. Right? Where did that go? And now, what I'm seeing when I do my polls, I see a lot of males would rather be hit by a woman than be cheated on by a woman. Like, that's how bad it's become. That's how bad it's become, where physical violence feels and is more tolerable to men than being cheated on or being denied sex, because we are lied to that women don't like sex, women don't like this, and then we see the opposite messaging as well, that all they want is sex with Chad or Tyrone or whatever the fuck, which is not true. And the proof is, look at everybody's parent. That Indian guy that pickup artists like to use, like, oh, what if you're a bald Indian guy? Well, he's got kids, and Indian women are beautiful. He's got kids. You know, oh, she's a 10. No, she's not. She's a 10 to you. Like I was saying yesterday, what's her name? Sweeney Todd. No, Sydney Sweeney, I think her name is. I don't think she's that attractive. Like, she is attractive enough. To me, she's not. But she doesn't have to be attractive to me. You may like her, you may like another one, right? For the porn aficionados, everybody has got their favorite porn star, right? So we don't all have to like each other. We don't have to like each other. We don't even have to love each other. We love ourselves as men. And when you love yourself as a man, you make choices that are in your best interest. And when you make choices in your best interest, society benefits. And when you truly love yourself, you consider your choices very, very, very carefully, because that's how much you value yourself and who you are. So as a byproduct, society benefits, which is not the reason why you should do it. And again, we should do things for the benefit of society, but not because we are men, but because we are adults, right? And of course, I'm talking of a specific context here. So, because on the internet, everybody misconstrues your words. They will say, I said, oh, men shouldn't contribute to society. I never said that. But if you don't learn to prioritize yourself, then that's how you fall into depression. If you don't make yourself the most important person in the relationship, that's where you get a nagging wife who denies you sex. Because you were trying to impress her instead of thinking, is she really impressing me? Because remember, if you are pursuing, you are chasing, that means the other thing is moving away from you. But if you prioritize yourself, you realize, wait a minute, she's moving away from me. Does she really want to be here? Do I want a woman who doesn't want to be here to be here? Do you see what I'm saying? You start making different choices. And people will say, oh, but I can't even get one girl, so how can I, be discarding women or cutting them off? But that's why you can't get a girl. Because you don't value yourself enough, and females can sense that. And people will say, oh, how come she likes that guy? He's an asshole. Yeah, but he likes himself. He values himself. He sees himself as important. Right? So those are my thoughts for today. Listen, don't let anybody define you. Nobody can define you apart from yourself. You are the definition of a man. So when in doubt, remember, you are the truth. I'll see you again tomorrow.
BraveFathers.com